Sakura Garvone, and welcome to Cassus Café. This week, we're going to be talking about the Spydancer, episode 6 of Vision Season 2. And I'm here with Kli'nah.
Hello!
And Tykoth. Once again, it's us lovely trio talking Star Wars Visions. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. We're really enjoying this season. Alright, let's get started. Spydancer. It's a French studio.
Yes.
So, knowing it's French, how do you think about it, Kli'nah? Because you like French things.
I do, but I mean, the fact that it's a French thing has no bearing on why I like it. The fact that I'm biased towards this episode is because I used to do aerial acrobatics and I danced all my childhood, so I very much enjoyed this episode, partly because of that.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun seeing that in animation.
I am biased towards the Frenchness of it because I do love French animation, Triplets of Belleville and Fantastic Planet, and just beautiful. And it's like the most French thing I've ever heard to do action, but just to make it dancing. Like,
Yeah.
That's the most French thing I could possibly imagine, and I love it. Just gorgeous.
Yeah, I thought the animation art style for this episode was good as well. It's very similar in certain aspects to Screecher's Reach, which I keep coming back to
Where
because
it's
it's my favorite.
simple and still pretty.
Yeah, but it's still got that same kind of hard, bold, outlined kind of stuff. Simple colors.
This one feels a little more hand-drawn. I know they
Yeah.
probably are. It feels a little more hand-drawn aesthetic than Screecher's Reach does.
Yeah.
It's got
Yeah.
maybe just a little more rougher, but in a good way, like intentional. Yeah. And the frame rate, I mean, I might be wrong on this because I'm not seeing them back to back, but I almost feel like the frame rate on this one is a little lower than on Screecher's.
I think so,
I think
too.
you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
If not, it's made to look it.
Yeah. This one has like a 12 to 16 kind of frame rate sort of look, and Screecher's Reach maybe had like a 20 to 25 sort of look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this first little robot that they pop into with like the duster and everything and coming into this room where it's like red drapes and everything reminds me of Belle going into the castle and the Our Guest scene where they have the robots just reminded me of that. And that's
Like
also
Lumiere or
French
something.
themed, so that also fits in with this.
Right off the beginning too, it has a font, like the font that comes up with Spydancer on it. You would never see that font like anywhere. That's like a really cool font. I can't even like name you something it reminds me of. It's just very cool.
I also liked when they were establishing the shots of like whatever planet they're on. It's almost Coruscant, but not really. Where it's all like dark and drab and muted tones, cool tones, and then they get inside this opera house or whatever, and it's all bright reds and pinks and oranges and stuff like that. It's really cool color contrast.
Yeah. Coming off of the last two, which of course the anime style is very reminiscent, but this one feels to its core like very culture driven, more so than the last couple did.
Yeah.
It's just like it's oozing French everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like you can't escape the French, and I don't want to. I want to be there for the rest of my life, but yeah, I just love how it's just in every facet.
Do you know what species these people are?
No, they're like female Deveronians, but they're not really because their horns are shorter and they're not red.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think they're just made up.
I thought it was interesting how they got the idea for them to be rebels and how they fight for the rebels through their dance performances. That was so clever. And it makes me think of the history of like what people did during wars back in the day.
Almost reminded me a little of Inglourious Bastards, I think, where that lady that ran the movie theater, was was in the plot to assassinate Adolf Hitler, and things went awry because they had their passions, overwhelm them. Same kind of thing here.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was really neat, kind of parallel to that. Reminded me of that.
Yeah, that is that. I didn't think of that, but that's true. I just like I'm rewatching this like dancing scene in the first movie. It's just so,
It's beautiful.
it's so dang good. Oh my god. And it's a cooler aspect too, because like the lack of like a Jedi focus too that the rest have been kind of going for. I know it's there a little bit, but like for the most part, it's like kind of a rebellion type of move, but a way different aesthetic than we have ever seen before.
And the music, and I love this piano type instrument that he has. It reminds me of, there's this instrument, I forget what it's called, but it like you put your hand in the air. What is it?
I think it's called a theremin.
Yeah, it just wherever you have your hand within the two metal poles that are have some type of electricity flowing or whatever, determines the sound pitch. And that's what this piano like thing reminds me of, and it's so cool. Also, there are female stormtroopers here, which I don't know if that's accurate.
Yeah.
They had female stormtroopers?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I'd like to see one.
Well,
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, they're conscripted army.
They don't have boob armor. I'm kidding.
I've been kind of harping on the visuals. Not harping. I've been praising the visuals so much, but I will say that I am more connected to these characters than just about every other one in this case.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was really emotionally digging their bond, and especially in those flashback sequences, those did it for me. Just the bright colors and the drastic shift of tones. I don't know. It sucked me in, and I feel their journey completely.
I can definitely agree with that. I mean, I think definitely when it comes to character development and how easy it is to feel connected to the characters, this episode's the strongest.
Well, you have the mother's love for the son that she lost, but then you also have the daughter trying to save the mother, and then also the mother trying to protect the daughter to keep her from getting killed by her son that she wants to get back, but he's like, what? I'm part of the Imperial Army or whatever it is.
And the daughter is pretty competent as well. She's not not quite as childy as some of the previous episodes.
Well, she seems like she's probably an older teen.
Yeah.
Like she's about ready to have her own life, it seems. But she's still a child, technically.
Yeah.
Like I would imagine she's like 16 or 17 probably.
This is like I Am Your Mother, but way more intense.
And better without annoying characters.
Wait, like thematically, story-wise, what they're up against, all very more intense. But the same kind of character dynamics.
They also have a cool little Easter egg with, I love the bust of kind of like, it looks like a C-3PO type droid that she uses to store her jewelry and stuff in. Was cool.
This is another one we mentioned in Screecher's Reach how we would like to see it keep going. I would like this to keep going.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was always like, at the end, I was like, oh man, I want to see what happens if she gets her son back or not, and turns him back from the dark path.
The other ones I definitely liked and enjoyed like crazy, but I kind of, once they were done, I was like, awesome. I think that just about did it. This one, it left me wanting more in a good way. Like I definitely could take a little short season of this story.
Yeah.
I adore this one to pieces. There's like nothing I don't like about it at all. I just think it's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have much to dog on or anything.
I mean, there's some physics things we could argue about, but we can just... It's Star Wars and it's animation. I'll excuse it.
Who's gonna be captain since he's not?
That's not how the Force works.
There is no Force in this episode.
Yeah.
He couldn't swing with trapeze and steal a gun, and the weight distribution. He holds the gun and shoots them is not correct.
Even just the hand railings and the pitchers and the cups are so beautiful. I want those pitchers and cups in my house. I probably couldn't afford those pitchers and cups in my house. They're beautiful.
Yeah, this is definitely a strong episode.
Wow, we're all pretty like Yeah.
raving it.
I didn't know how this one would go, so I'm happy that everybody is so into it because this is.
The guy playing the piano type instrument is just smoking a pipe while everyone's getting murdered. He's just playing the symphony, making it even more and more intense.
Yeah.
Great.
It's good small stuff like that keeps the
Keeps it a little
theme
lighter.
light, you know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
in the middle of a dark time.
It is a real dark plot for
Mhm.
sure. It's not happy-go-lucky, which is maybe connects me to it more too, because I like depressing things for some weird reason. But maybe that's my problem.
I mean,
Yeah.
it could be depressing if you want to think about it a lot,
Yeah.
but if you just want to enjoy it, it has enough to keep it from being too heavy.
Yeah. And the music is so beautiful and nice that it
Yeah.
kind of assists your mood a little bit.
So I'm just going to assume we're rating this 10s all around.
I'm not gonna go that far because I gave
Oh.
Screecher's Reach and the last one, Journey to the Dark Head, at 9s. I'm fairly certain. So I can't give this one higher than a 9 because I enjoy it. I think it's a very strong episode, but I'd still prefer Screecher's Reach and the other one.
Okay.
Like I would rewatch those, and I like their art styles, and maybe not Journey to the Dark Head's story more, but I definitely enjoy its action, its animation more.
Yeah.
So this one it's definitely got a better story. So I guess since we're getting into ratings, I'll go ahead and start, and I'll give mine a I'll give it an 8 for sure.
It's a 10 for me.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, this one is like, I think the best story yet, and also like maybe my favorite animation style yet as well. So, yeah, I mean it's a 10. I mean if I could give it an 11, I would.
Hey,
I could do whatever
It's
I
just
want. 11 out of
numbers.
10.
You can
I
do
mean,
whatever you want. Yeah.
All those ratings are arbitrary.
They all
11 out of
change when we do the
10. I
rankings at the end anyway.
11 out of 10. I'm your captain now.
Yeah, this episode I just love. But yeah, you're right. I would like to see this episode continue into
Yeah.
a series.
Yeah.
That would be great.
It ends. I mean, it ends at a nice place, but it does feel like there's so much more there.
Because you'd be able to have the story of the mother with the son, or like them trying to find each other, or figure out what their relationship's going to be moving forward. You have the rebellion aspect of it as well.
Yeah, I do think comparing Visions to something like Star Wars Infinities or Star Wars Tales, stuff like that, like where they're just one-off comics. This would be one of those rare cases where it'd be like a 2-part comic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I would love to see a second part to this at least. In,
That
like, the
would
next
be
season or
neat
something.
if they could, like maybe in Vision season 3, if they could invite a few studios back to make a part 2 to their stories that they started.
The one that makes sense. That'd be really cool.
I did hear that season 3 may already be in production, which would be awesome because I do want more seasons of this, no matter what they end up doing.
Well, in animation, you need a long time to
Yeah,
work on it if you're going to do animation.
yeah, for sure.
You need that
I
heads
feel
up.
like this really has potential to be some of the most universally liked Star Wars, just because there's so much of everything. Like there's definitely stuff I don't dig in here, but it doesning matter because there's stuff I do, and you just everyone should be able to pick out.
There's something for everyone in Visions.
Something about this story in particular kind of just hit me as I was watching the ending. It's very similar to one of my fanfics where one of my characters is in the Empire and is actually originally they were a double agent, but ended up growing to like working for the Empire and liking the Empire, whereas her family didn't, and they had like a falling out because of that. So it's very similar in that aspect, and I'm like, that's kind of hits me a little bit more because of it's similar to a story that I've written.
And then you're like, hey, it does work.
Yeah. See, I know what I'm talking about.
You watch it and you're like, hey, I could have adapted this to life.
Yeah. But now that if I ever do, they're gonna be like, "Oh, that's that's
Wow,
ripped
you just
off of
opened
Vision."
Spydancer.
Yeah. No, I did first.
Oh, you just got that name from Star Wars droids like they did with Kylo Ren. Okay.
Oh man. All right. Well, that's been our discussion for episode 6 of Visions of the Spydancer. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and like I said, leave us a comment on what you think about this episode and Visions in general below, and we'll see you in the next one. We've got 3 more episodes left, and I'm excited. Me and Kli'nah haven't watched them yet by this point, so
Oh, okay. Cool.
we'll get to them soon, and we can't wait to see the rest. So we'll catch y'all later. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.